All right, guys. Listen, I might be making some, less videos here for a while. Well, I kind of have been anyway, because the holidays. Okay, we got a lot of stuff going on with that. All right, so it's going to be kind of more sporadic when I'm over here. Okay, um, and yeah, that's that. So I'm not. Nothing's going to be wrong with me or anything like that. I'm just because of holidays and other stuff we got going on right now. In fact, look, that's that. This not that. That's a birthmark. This is fight with a Christmas tree. I mean, a real one, a real alive tree. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so yeah, I'm out doing holiday things. All right. So, all right. The night of the crime, guys. Listen, what I'm telling you to many people is far out there. I know it's way, way out there. The greatest trick the devil ever played is to convince everyone that he doesn't exist. Meanwhile, he's running the whole world. And I know it's hard to believe, and I know it's out there what I'm telling you. But my story has never changed. I have not, my, it's never changed. Since I've been on here since April, I've always said, from the jump, Dee Dee was a sacrifice, a traditional sacrifice. That is a Judas sacrifice, period. Okay, in exchange for her to have fame and fortune. She's the one that fucked things up. It wasn't supposed to go like that, guys. All right? It wasn't supposed to go like that. It was a very formal thing that she did. What I'm telling you, though, is my story has not changed. I have maybe added to it or clarification when I learn more information. A good example of that is the Barney doll. If you go look at all my videos are posted, you can see them in chronological order. I said, listen, I was told that they played a recording to trick him because they had to trick Nick into thinking she was alive or he wouldn't have stabbed into her and done that because it was supposed to be a binding ritual she was tricking him into. They had to take her out together. That's why I think they were both in there doing it. That's what the deal is. And I was told it was a recording. But I said, I don't know how they played it. I don't know the mechanism. Was it a Bluetooth thing that she did from the other room? Was there? I even said, went as far as said, I don't know if one of those dudes was still in that room, hidden somewhere, and played it. I don't know, because they got him in and out. But then later, people contacted us and said, no, it was the Barney doll. That's a talking Barney doll. Now, whatever mechanism it has, it still has a speaker. It has to have a speaker, but it's a talking Barney doll. The sound has to come out some way. Of some sort of speaker system of some kind. And if you don't think in 2015 all those dudes could rig up a thing to have a recording of her that they got earlier when they were doing the ritual to play that out just to trick him into believing all he had to do is trick the autistic guy with all kinds of other problems in a dark room who's scared to death, and they knew that and was just freaked out and didn't even want to do it, into believing that the woman was alive. That's all that was for. All right? And when I found out that was the Barney doll, I came and told you guys. That's when they made the crazy live and all that, trying to get in front of it, because they knew what was coming. They knew what was coming. Because Dee Dee was long gone before Nick got there, and that matters. Okay? I've never changed my story. This is what I've said from the start, you guys. And here's the problem. As far out there as some of you want to believe my story is, that sacrifices don't happen, although they're in the Old Testament, and they happen every day, and they've been happening since the beginning of fucking time. Why you think it would change now? Why you think it stopped all of a sudden? What you think the FBI stopped it? No, the top of the FBI are in it. First thing Lucifer does is make sure he's over the government, law enforcement, and the news media. Of course. And then all the entertainment things that keep us busy. Bread and circuses. They've been doing it since Rome. All right, guys? Nothing's ever changed. They just keep recycling it. Okay? So that was a sacrifice that night. The people that were there were David and Kim Blanchard. Both Satanists have been. David Blanchard was their go-to person. He is the one that arranged it. It's a very formal thing. There was 5 of them there. Kim and David, Dan Glidewell, Gypsy, and then Brian Rogers. He goes by Ace Bannister. Okay? And then Nick's the scapegoat. He's the 6th one that comes later. It takes 6 to do it. Okay? They did a torture ritual on her. They picked June 9th for a very specific reason to do that part, because that's an anniversary of when her mother died. That's why they did that. Not that it's necessary, but they do everything with symbolism and for reasons like that. All right? And they took her out, I'm telling you, right around midnight. It's a Judas sacrifice, it's new beginnings, the dawning and all that. They took her out right then. And then Nick, we know, didn't come till 2 in the morning. We know that. All right? This is what happened. What I'm telling you, what I say fits the evidence. What they're telling you in their fake autopsy does not fit the evidence. So even though mine sounds crazy and outlandish, but I'm telling you it's the truth, mine fits the evidence, theirs does not. They're lying on the autopsy, guys. We cannot let this go. How can you let this go? If they say that she bled internally, that's what they said. Her cause of death, it says, is multiple stab wounds, which means they're saying because she didn't bleed out anywhere, there's no blood anywhere. You can't say she exsanguinated from her multiple stab wounds because there's no blood anywhere. There's less blood than a good bloody nose on that sheet that they transferred with that sheet. And there was 3 of them, 3 big, strong dudes that transferred her. Look, 3 big dudes on sheets can transfer that body from the kitchen to the bed. Okay? They don't even have to be real strong, dude. She didn't weigh more than 300 some pounds. Come on, man. And that's what they did. They did it on the kitchen. They drained her blood. They did the ceremony. They moved her to the bed. That is what happened. And what I'm telling you fits you. What I'm telling you, the evidence fits. What they're telling you does not. If they want to say that the cause of death was multiple stab wounds, it has to be, and then they said that she bled internally. That's what they said. That means then that when they stabbed in, that the blood started seeping into a cavity, and then after so many hours, like 12 to 24, it even starts, the blood's going to start seeping with gravity, and the body's going to turn black and blue everywhere, head to toe. Especially, they didn't find her for 3 or 4 days later. That's when you see the pictures, the evidence pictures, that was 3 or 4 days post-mortem, and she's peach colored with red on her. No, she would be black. I hate to keep beating this in your head, but guys, that means they lied about the autopsy. It cannot be true that she died of multiple stab wounds as the cause of death and bleeding internally, and the body looked like that. That is an impossibility. And the most important things the medical examiner is supposed to determine are cause of death, manner of death, and the time of death. The whole thing was a cover-up, and the medical examiner lied, and that autopsy was bullshit. That's not even what a real autopsy looks like. They're real big and thick and voluminous. They got all kinds of shit in it. It's all a police cover-up because she made a deal. Okay? What I'm saying fits the evidence. What they're saying does not fit the evidence at all. Not at all. Somehow, this woman got in the room in her bed with a bunch of stab wounds that we know were done way earlier, and then this guy comes in and just jumps on her and stabs her 4 more times, but then kills her and takes her out in that room. But there's no blood anywhere. There's no blood anywhere, but a little bit on the sheet. That doesn't make sense at all, what they're trying to tell you. How did she get in the bed? How did she get in that state? How did she get the stab? None of that's answered, nothing. I'm telling you exactly what happened because that's what happened. And what I'm telling you fits the evidence, okay? This is where she fucked up, and this is what she was told. She already had this house. That was her mother's house, okay? The Luciferian Brotherhood, of course, she gets money and everything right. Once she made the deal, guys, Kim Blanchard was videoing the whole thing. That's what they do. They always video it. When you hand over the videotape and you hand the goblet back, they were given a special goblet, an old goblet that's used for these, made out of some kind of precious, like a pewter or some kind of thing with precious gems on it. Gypsy, I know you're watching this, Ash Blonde 6 motherfucker. You know everything I'm saying is true, and you know this is exactly how it went down, you lying whore. Anyway, they poured some of the blood in there. You just got to take a swallow, she has to, and then pass it around, and then they all drink of it. You drink of the cup of the blood of the sacrifice. That is a saying, that is a thing. A sacrifice, something lost, something gained. Okay, and the more important, the bigger thing, and the more the person that's the better, the closer, like a mother's a good one. Okay, the more loving thing, the more sacred, the more special something is to you that you're giving up, the better you get in return. But it's not a supernatural thing. They do the deals for you. She was going to have that house. They were going to pay. It comes with money automatically. They were going to pay off the mortgage or whatever was owed on that house. So she had that house. She was supposed to kill Nick. I've told you this. That is why it was supposed to be the binding ritual, to get his prints and get all his DNA on that knife, that he did it. Then they were supposed to have sex, get his semen in her. She was going to rub the semen on her mother too. Then she was supposed to I'm telling you, this is what was supposed to happen. She was supposed to blindfold him and do this little the BDSM shit. She set him up to supposedly like and all that. She was supposed to do that. And then once he's blindfolded and good and all that, and she's already got her semen, then she was supposed to stab him up and kill him and say that he turned on her and flipped out, killed her mother, and then raped her and raped everybody and all this. That's what she was supposed to do. Okay, then they would have just took the bodies away and she would have been the fucking hero. And that's what she would have got. Then she would have got her book deals and her movies and her documentaries and all this shit, and it would have been way different. And it would have started right then. And this is what she was told. And she was also told to make sure you scratch him with your fingernails and get his DNA, his skin, under your fingernails. You can do it after he's dead or before. This is what David Blanchard told her. I'm telling you, people told us this, man. More than one. These people have big fucking mouths. More than one person. I'm not just making this shit up. I'm not just supposing this. I'm not just trying to. I'm not figuring that this was all. I'm just the one telling everyone. I'm just reporting the shit. This is what happened. And this is why she got all this shit. That's how it was supposed to go, though, guys. That night, the cops were going to come, and it was going to be, oh, well, God, she had to defend herself. You understand? Then from that point, then she would have the house. And then from that point on, it would have started the news media, and then the whole thing, and then that would have been it. And then she would have got all the connections at the top because she did her thing. And she would be famous as hell right now and all that. But it went south. Somehow she wasn't able to kill him or something went wrong. I believe it's because he couldn't get it up, and she thought, well, damn, if I don't have a semen in him, I can't do this. Or I think she was communicating with David Blanchard the whole time with the phone. I believe that. But of course, the police aren't going to show us the records because it was all a cover-up. I believe she's taking direction from the whole time. He's the one that set the whole thing. I know this. He was in it. I know this. But anyway, so this is what happened. This is why immediately when it went south and she didn't kill him like he was supposed to, David Blanchard, her go-to now is Mike Stansfield. He immediately jumps into action and calls his people and says, hey, well, she did it. And then they jump into it. That is why it took so long. They were waiting for the right medical examiner. They had to get a medical examiner on there that's called adjacent, that will lie for them and take money and do whatever they want them to do. They were trying to get Nick to cop to they mutilated her genitals down there. That fits too. You don't see it in the autopsy. But you saw the cop keep asking Nick, you didn't do nothing to her down there? You sure? You sure? Because they were trying to put that on him. And when he wouldn't cop to it at all, they had to cover her up and sweep her under the rug. I know what I'm talking about, guys. I know exactly what I'm talking about. Ace Bannister, Brian Rogers, runs around talking about him and Gypsy are the ones that mutilated her down there and made the big heifer, he calls Dee Dee the heifer. The big heifer looked like raw ground beef down there. That's what he says. Thinks it's funny. Heifer, hamburger, get it? All right. This is all true what I'm telling you. I'm not making this up. And this shit fits the evidence. What they're saying does not fit the evidence. Okay? This is what happens. This is how evil this bitch is. But when she messed up, but they jumped into action, look, and then they blamed it all on the hitman. And gets the hitman, do you understand what happened here? She's the one that wanted her family member killed. It always should be he gets the lesser to go against her. But no, they switched it around. And she had to do some time because because they had a judge that wasn't with it. That was the problem. The judge is just by chance by when the crime goes down. Okay? And they had a judge that wasn't with it. They're lucky that he accepted that plea agreement. Didn't make her go to trial, but I think he was persuaded, if you know what I mean. But that's what happened. And then that's why immediately she goes to prison. Mike Stanfield's running around setting up her public defender. They don't do that. They don't. Your public defender doesn't stay with you in prison and start setting up deals and stuff for you. What is going on? Don't you see? He's up with Christy setting up documentaries to make the narrative look like she's the abuse victim of her mother while she's in prison. Don't you get it? Setting up for when she gets out so she can get her fame and fortune like she was promised. A deal is a deal. They start making stuff to make Nick look like an animal. This is what happened, guys. This is a traditional Judas sacrifice. What I'm telling you fits the evidence. What they're telling you is complete and utter bullshit. I love you guys, man. Okay? It's the holiday season. I don't know how much I'm going to be on here, but I love you, and we got to keep spreading the truth. Fuck these motherfuckers.